Connectors, what's up? DK here. Hope you're having a good day. Hey, it is Friday, and it is Q&A with DK, where I take questions from you, and I answer them as best I can. Here we go. DK, how old are you? I'm 45 years old. Ow! Seriously, I don't mind. I'm 45. I don't feel old. Am I old? Favorite food? I do like me some pizza. I also like Jif peanut butter. Yeah. Who am I kidding? I like a lot of food. So you're a musician, huh? Yep. Started playing trumpet when I was in 4th grade. Still play. Not great. Used to be pretty good when I was a little bit younger. But yeah, I play a little guitar and yeah, but trumpet primarily. Seems like you really like where you live. You're a big fan of York, aren't you? York and York County, man. That's my home. I love my community. I love everything about it. I lived in Washington, D.C. for 16 years. Absolutely loved living in Washington, D.C. But the truth is, I love this area. And it's mostly because my wife's from here, and we got married here. Did I mention this before? I love this area, and I love the people. I love the growth that's happening. I love the potential that's happening here in York. I am a big fan of York. I love York City. What's the number one thing that nonprofits have to be concerned about here in 2018? Wow, what's one thing? That's tough to do. I mean, the most obvious one is the one that I think we all know that work in the nonprofit sector, and that's fundraising. Finding dollars, finding donors. That's always the top of the list. I mean, that's been number one on the charts since I got into the game after 1995, 94. I mean, that's been a long time, and it's going to forever be number one. I mean, fundraising is always the most difficult thing, but I think specifically for 2018, there's some change in policies that are going on the federal level that will affect charitable donations and how they're done in the new tax law. That's something to always pay attention to. But I think the biggest thing is the nonprofit sector itself learning about itself, finding that there is nonprofit power and our strength in our community development, being sure that we have a seat at the table so that we can be part of the solution and not just a reaction to public policy, but actually part of it, and working alongside of our .gov, .com, .edu brothers and sisters, making sure .org is in the room too. What does nonprofit power mean? You're referring to the hashtag I use all the time, nonprofit power? Well, that's just a friendly reminder to the sector that we are much more than just programmatic work that we do in the community. Our work matters. We are job creators. We are solving a lot of our human service, environmental, places of worship, arts and culture. I mean, we are in everything that defines our communities. So really, truth be told, we have a great deal of power. We have a great deal of authority, and we have a great deal of sway in what's going on in our sector. So by me saying nonprofit power all the time, I'm reminding my brothers and sisters of the NPOs that you have much more of a gift and much more to give than just simply being there saying, well, we're right over here, we're the homeless shelter, we're the charter school. No, you are shaping policy by the work you're doing, and you should be proud about that. You have nonprofit power. Are you a dog or a cat fan? Truth be told, I wasn't really a big animal person for a very long time, but I got two kick-ass cats right here, Earl and Izzy Gray. They're not related, but they're super cool, and they act like they are. Actually, more than that, they act like they're kind of like their little clique, you know. They're cool. Number one thing a board member has to know when joining a board for the first time. One, are you absolutely clear of the role and responsibilities of a board member? Board member in general, but specifically a board member to that organization. If you don't have a job description which includes specifics on what you're going to be doing, you should get one and be sure that you can commit to it. Secondly, whether they tell you or not, you should commit to raising money. It's not about just saying, hey, I know a guy, and then pointing them to the organization. You really are the ambassador and a gatekeeper to dollars. And as I mentioned before, fundraising is always number one. That's the top thing. But in general, the number one job of a board member is to make sure that you're positioning the board to be the best asset and resource to the executive director. That's the main job. Take care of the person who's running it, because they're the ones who are going to shape the future of the organization's impact. Is there too much of an emphasis on social media these days? The question sounds like it's coming from all this idea of fake news and bots and all these things going on the larger national scale, whether it's national politics or national social issues or things like that. The truth of the matter is, for the nonprofit sector, social media is a wonderful tool, and if used properly, like anything really, if it's used better for good versus evil, you're going to be all right with it. The key to the sector has always been We're slow to technology, and mostly it's because of budget problems, mostly budget constraints. But if you know what you're doing on social media, or you're willing to learn, willing to partner up and understand what social media can do for you, it can be a godsend. It'll help you with your marketing, with your public relations, with your communications, with your media relations, with your donor relations. It can really do a lot of things for you, but you've got to take the time to know it. You can't sort of kind of do this. You know, being half involved in social media means you're not involved at all. You have to really, really commit to it. Are you a fan of Rick and Morty? Yep. Favorite Marvel movie? My favorite Marvel movie has been Captain America: The Winter Soldier. But truthfully, my wife and I just saw Black Panther and Black Panther was killer. It was really, really good. But I think overall, my favorite still is, by a little bit, is Captain America: Winter Soldier. And I mean, yeah, I cannot wait for Avengers. I cannot wait for the next one. That's going to be killer. I like them all. Favorite author? Well, my favorite author is David McCullough, because I'm a history buff and I just like his writing. Doris Kearns Goodwin is also an amazing author, and I like her because she's also my secret girlfriend. But she's an amazing author of history too, and U.S. history is my favorite. But I'll tell you another one, Erika Napolentano, The Power of Unpopular. This is a great book, and Erika is an amazing speaker, and she's a buddy of mine who I think everybody should check her out. I'll put a link to her information below and in the doobly-doo. But The Power of Unpopular is an awesome book because it basically suggests to marketers and to brands and to organizations, the job of your marketing is not to be popular with everybody and everyone. Your job is to be popular, loyal, strong, whatever word you want to use, to your tribe, and making sure that your loyal and honesty to your tribe is the most. And if people want to join it, feel free, but being unpopular is not that bad. Favorite food? I like pizza. I like Jif peanut butter too, but pizza. And is Diet Coke a food? Because it's not really a favorite. I'm addicted to Diet Coke too, which I know is bad, but I'm not in it now because it's Lent, and I give it for Lent every year. 3 words of wisdom. 3 words of wisdom. Find your why. Find your why. That's the best thing. Know your core. What you do and how you do it is one thing, but know your why. As an organization, that's my big push. Find your why. That's the core of what you are, and gets people to give a chance to align their values with yours. Number 2, hire for attitude, train for skill. If you have good people that you know, trust, and love, and you love their attitude, and that attitude aligns with your why, aligns with your value, that's a great person. So align with them. And number 3, be yourself. Be yourself. It's easy to clone people. It's easy to copy somebody. It's easy to do that. And we all pull from everything. We pull from our mentors. We pull from our family. We pull from people we know, love, cherish, and respect. But find your own voice. Establish your own voice. And be proud of that voice, no matter what it is. Tell me one thing about yourself that we don't know yet. Man. I said I was a band geek, right? Yeah, so you already know that. I play trumpet. Let's see. I was once the Syracuse Orange mascot during a basketball game at school. Otto the Orange, which is the official mascot of Syracuse. You smoke? Nah, not a smoker. Not really big into smoke. I smoke cigars, so I guess then I smoke, but not cigarettes, you know. That's funny. That could be cigarettes, cigars, a bong hit. This is... What am I doing? As a trumpet player, do you have a favorite trumpet player? Oh, man. Louis Armstrong is the king. He's the god. Mount Rushmore, man. He's the top one. Honestly, I love Dizzy Gillespie, but I couldn't play like that because he's up in the stratosphere the entire time. I mean, I used to be, I think, okay trumpet player, and I used to play the firsts, and I played the high notes, but, man, he plays them incessantly way up there. I would say my 2 are Miles Davis because I love his sense of cool. I love his sense of space because I always hope to play that way. And Wynton Marsalis because he's of my generation, and I think he's that perfect combination of a contemporary player with amazing historical knowledge. I mean, the boy's from New Orleans. He knows everything and anything. I mean, just watch Ken Burns' jazz. He's on it practically the entire time. So... if I had to pick one, it's Miles. So you rooted for the Patriots, and they lost the Super Bowl, huh? Man, that's a tough question. But yep, Patriot fan, baby. Live and die. We lost this one, but we'll be back. Favorite baseball team? Come on, guys. We've been over this. New England. Or Boston. Red Sox. One bit of advice for a new board member coming onto a board of directors of a nonprofit. Oh, this one's great. Do you know your job description? And I mean that seriously. Have you been given a job description for being a board member for the nonprofit organization? If you don't have that, you should get that, because it should be crystal clear what is the expectation of a board member. If you think it's just to go to a meeting and approve some minutes and okay a budget, then you don't know what it is to be a board member. Leadership is much more than just going to the meetings. In fact, the meeting is probably the last thing you should be caring about from being a board member. And also, it's not just to get a cool title. It's not just to be on a masthead. It's not just to be on a website with your picture. If those are reasons you're on a board, get off it now, because you need to realize that you're going to have to be doing a lot for your organization. You are the ambassador opening doors. You are a fundraiser. You are a marketer. You are a PR person. You are going to be carrying all the water at times. But really, to the core, what it is to be a board member, look to your executive director. Is that person getting all the assets and resources that he or she needs to make that mission move? That's your job. And guys, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for the questions. I really do appreciate it. I have fun doing these things. So if you want to push a question or a topic for me, here's my email right here, doug@connecteddotsmovement.org. Also, like and share this video, and that's another place you can put comments too. Facebook.com/Connected Dots Movement. And last but not least is mostly how I get questions for Q&A with DK. It's right here on our Twitter handle, @WeConnectDots. You can also get with me on my personal one and follow me, DKnight44. That 44 is for Syracuse University. We've been over this before. Guys, again, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. My name is DK. I'm with Connected Dots Movement, and you have just been connected. I'll see you around. Shout out again to my girl, Erika Napolentano, The Power of Unpopular. Go check this book out, man. She is a badass mofo. Love her to death. Woo! Nonprofit power.